Hi, this is Susan Farron with First Responders Resiliency. Please see us at our website at resiliency1st.org. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a concept that we discuss at our conferences, which is the impacts that our jobs have on us, our careers have on us. And so one of the things that I remember is as a young girl going into restaurants and having the waiters ask us, you want to sit in the smoking or non-smoking section? My parents indicating the non-smoking section, we'd be walking over there. And I'd look up at the ceiling and I'd think, I wonder who tells the smoke. So I thought about that when we were putting this program together, a proactive approach for first responders. And that was this simple fact, that your nervous system is in a hypervigilant state when you're on the job. Initially, when you're young and you're doing the job, you're aware of that because your hands shake, you feel anxiety, you can't wait for the next call. And then as you have been on the job a while, your nervous system becomes more adapted to this and it stops having those responses, those physical responses. We actually often recreate the stress in our personal lives, and we have to almost up the ante on stress to get that same kind of a rush that we were getting in the beginning that was so intoxicating. The point being is that as you do this for a living, one of the things that we're clearly aware of is that your body, your nervous system specifically, does not know the difference between on duty and off duty. And so this is what I refer to as the smoking and the non-smoking section. So if you use the example of getting off shift and driving home and following behind a car that is swerving over the shoulder or across the center divide, and you recognize that the driver is either texting or impaired, and you realize that there's oncoming traffic and that the driver's not paying attention and maybe they are impaired, and you begin to run this call in your head. If you've ever done this where you've watched a car and you thought to yourself, oh my gosh, this vehicle is going to cross into oncoming traffic. We're going to have a head-on collision here. I wonder how many people are in that vehicle. I wonder how many people are in the oncoming vehicle. I wonder where our closest trauma center is. How many units am I going to need? What kind of resources am I going to have available to me? Do I have any medical equipment in my vehicle? And how many patients are we going to have? And how long is this call going to take? And you've begun to run the call in your mind, and no accident has actually happened. And it's that hypervigilant, always prepared state that never leaves us. And it's that simple fact, that always being on, your nervous system always being on duty, on the job. So you're not really off duty when you leave the station. You're not really off duty when you take off your uniform. You're not off duty when you're on vacation because your nervous system is always primed for the next event. That nervous system impact is what takes such a huge toll on all of us. And so one of the things that we talk about is learning to shut your nervous system off. You'll hear Ron speak further down in the next few days about sleep deprivation and the impact that has on you. But another thing that's true is that if your nervous system is never shut off, you do have difficulty sleeping. You're waking up in the middle of the night. Maybe you're waking up startled. Maybe you're just waking up and having to stay awake because you can't get back to sleep. But we want to help you because during these times of stress, one of the first things you can be doing to take care of yourself is sleeping well when you're off duty. And so to do that, we talk about being able to shut off your nervous system. There are a couple of different things that you can do. First and foremost, if you're actually having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, you can do box breathing. There are sorts of tactical breathing techniques that can be utilized, but one of those techniques is to breathe in slowly through your nose. Do that for 5 seconds and hold it. Hold that for 5 seconds and then blow out like you're blowing on a candle. Get all the way to the bottom and hold it. Let yourself get oxygen hungry. And then inhale again through your nose. And repeat that process, that box breathing process of inhaling through your nose slowly, holding it, letting it out slowly, and then holding it. And if you can do that box breathing, trying to hold that for 5 seconds, breathing in 5 seconds, holding it 5 seconds, letting it out by blowing out like you're blowing on a candle for 5 seconds. Just those kinds of techniques, if you can do that for just a couple of minutes, it'll interrupt an anxiety attack. And so box breathing is one of the first things we're going to talk about, but as we go on, we're going to talk about meditation, mindfulness, right brain techniques that you can use to open up that intuitive and creative side of your brain that actually allows you to have more access to the parts of your brain that are probably resting a little bit dormant right now because we've been in such a heightened state of awareness. And so that's just one of the techniques that you can use. We'll talk about more of these things throughout the oncoming days, but that is just one technique you can use to help yourself if you're dealing with a lot of anxiety. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Stay safe, be kind to yourself, your family, and humanity as a whole, and we'll see you back here real soon. Okay, thanks.